Welcome back, everyone. I'm joined now by Dr. Tony from St. Joseph Hospital and Down East Orthopedics. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Peter.
And we're here to talk about joint health today. And first of all, I wanted to ask you about your role and what makes care at St. Joe's very unique.
Sure. So I'm the medical director of total joint surgery at St. Joseph's Hospital, and that question is really why I'm so glad you had me here tonight, because care at St. Joe's, orthopedic care at St. Joe's specifically, is unique. In today's day and age of big everything, big pharma, big corporations and everything, you've got two pretty small, relatively small players doing some pretty cool things in the community. So you have St. Joe's, which, as you know, is a relatively small community hospital, which allows patients to have a really kind of intimate kind of care that is maybe not afforded at bigger places. And Down East Orthopedics, we're a approximately 12 doctor group, one of the last remaining private practice groups in the state, and the combination allows us to do some really cool things. So some people might not know that if they come to St. Joe's and get a shoulder replacement, for example, they might get a GPS-guided shoulder replacement. I'm as medical director of the total joint surgery service, I do direct anterior approach surgeries. I'm one of the only surgeons in the state who does that. Dr. Walsh, one of our other top docs, does robotic surgery. I just did one of the state's first augmented reality total knee replacement surgeries. So some really cool stuff close to home. And we've gotten some local and national accolades for this. So again, speaking for my team, of course, from the total joint surgery side, we were awarded a Center of Excellence designation a couple of years ago, and I've been able to not only maintain that, but we're actually being asked to present our success on a national level.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and then in this past month, we were just named a top hospital, believe it or not, for orthopedic care across the country, and we're the only one in the area that was able to achieve that. So,
wow, so people could feel good about going to get the orthopedic care they need, and it can be a little daunting though when you have a big procedure maybe that you require a hip or knee replacement. That could potentially freak some people out a little bit, but as you just mentioned, technology is evolving. There's so much more at our disposal now, and so let's go over maybe some of the misconceptions about those types of procedures and some things that might be deterring people from wanting to move forward with that, and clear some things up there.
You're right. So total joint surgery in particular, it's considered major surgery.
Yeah.
But there have been such advances, and again, that are available right to this community, right in the area, that make it not quite what it used to be. It's not your granddad's total knee necessarily. So one misconception I'd say is that people think that total knee, total hip surgery is done through these giant incisions that they've seen done in the past, and that's not the case. I mentioned direct anterior approach surgery just a little bit ago, and I do most of my total hip surgeries in about a 4-inch incision. Another thing I think is that people are still kind of under the impression that they need to be of a certain age to be able to have this surgery. And again, with technological advances, particularly in the implants that we use nowadays, that's just not really a worry that we have as we used to have, where we thought, oh my gosh, you're gonna wear out your hip or knee replacement before you are even old enough to have gotten the first one. Mm-hmm. So, do we want to do hip or knee replacements on younger people? Absolutely not, and we're going to try to get you by as much as we can. But if that's the surgery you need, there's no need to wait until you're a certain arbitrary age in order to be able to have it.
That's fantastic, yeah. And there, real quickly, just a few things that people can do to keep their joints healthy.
So unfortunately, sometimes our genes work against us, but you're right, there are some things that we can maybe do, like stay healthy, keep a healthy weight, avoid high impact activities, but try to be as active as you possibly can. Have your muscles be as strong and limber as you can, and that really helps support the joints.
All right, great. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Tony. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, and your full forecast coming right up. Stay with us.